Okay. Well, I figured it's going to be a very low attendance since this is our very, very first
Yes.
statewide youth collective. Um, the idea is, I don't, do you, Haley, were you with us last year when we started the Fresno Youth Council and we met in the summer? And I think we met at Starbucks.
Uh, I was there, but I don't think I attended.
I remember there was like only three of you. And then by October, it turned into like 2025, right?
Do you know who was there?
I know Damien was there.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it was, oh, Asa was there.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes, I remember. I was there.
Were you there? Okay. I
Yes.
remember there was like only three of you. And then for the summer, and then we started getting started in the school year, it just like boomed after the
It
summer,
did,
remember?
yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, I have a feeling it's going to be like that again this
Same thing, yes.
summer with only a few of us. But I still wanted to get started in the summer, even if it's only two or three of you, so that by the time everybody else starts coming after the youth summit, you guys will kind of have an idea of what this is, what you want to do, what your goals are, and what it looks like.
Got it.
Does that sound good?
That does sound good, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. And I see your thumb up. Is it pronounced Christiana?
Yeah, you got it right.
Yay, yay. All right, so why don't just the three of us at least get to know each other a little bit? So if you can tell me like your name, where you're from, not me, tell the three of us where your name, where you're from, and maybe like, I don't know, some fun, cool thing you either did this summer or you plan to do this summer. How's that sound?
That sounds good. Okay, so my name is Haley. I'm from Fowler, so I attend Fowler High School, and I'm an incoming junior there. And things I like to do is I like to like cook a lot, but things like for this summer is my cousins, which they're coming over from out of state in June, no, July. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Where are they from?
Uh, Wisconsin. It's where I
Oh,
was born. Yeah.
wow.
Nice. What
That's
do you like to cook?
I like to cook like it varies. So like I like cooking like tons of like ethnic dishes, such as like Indian food, Korean food, American food, Japanese food, but recently I've just been big on making like just chicken dishes.
cool. Weren't you going to make us some egg rolls sometime?
Yes, sometime. Just let
I'm
me know.
still waiting for those.
Yes.
How about you, Christiana?
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone, I'm Christiana. I'm going into my senior year. I am originally from Clovis, California. I kind of I've living in two places right now because my parents are divorced, so I go back and forth. My first place I reside is in Los Angeles, and right now I currently live in Clovis, California, so I go back and forth.
I did
Something,
that. I did
yeah,
that when I was in my 20s, so that's a long drive.
you're there with me, you know how that is. And something cool this summer. I really am into this extracurricular activity called mock trial. It's like public speaking. And it's basically like fake court. Um, and I'm really into it. So this summer I'll actually be competing at the international level in Shanghai, China.
No way.
Ooh, that's nice.
That is so cool. Good for you. When is that going to be?
August.
Oh, so it's over the summer when you're competing.
Yes.
Oh, that is so cool. Well, you definitely need to share pictures then.
Definitely.
Awesome. Okay, so I was trying to think of the best way to work together on our ideas for this year. Have you guys ever heard of Nearpod?
No, I haven't heard of it.
No. Okay. So w what do you think if we give it a try and see if you like it, to see if it works for us, or if you have any better ideas? You want to try it?
Yeah, we should try it for sure.
Okay. So
Excuse me.
what's that?
Um, so I'm just gonna share a little bit how I ended up here. So
Yeah, go
I
for it.
went to this program called the ACT program. It's like American Citizenship. And we were learning like about the Constitution, and it was like a youth leadership program for high schoolers. And basically, two people from Civic Education Center came in and they kind of pitched us on the group. And they told me, they were like, "Oh, you should come to this Zoom we're having about leadership." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I don't really know what's going on. So if you could kind of just fill me in a little bit.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for letting me know where you're at. So, oh, Danny's coming in. Let me admit one more person. So, currently, the Civic Education Center is working with youth in both Sacramento, Fresno, and Los Angeles. And we've gone out to different trainings to train the youth out there and also help them with civic projects. But mostly the idea with this is youth from all these three areas, Fresno, Sacramento, and LA, um, it seems that they want to be involved with their communities. They want to, some of them want to do a civic project and get the state seal of civic engagement. Some of them just want to get leadership skills. Some of them would like to put this on their resume. So everybody's different with what they want to get out of it. But what it is, this particular online collective is brand new. So there is a youth council in Fresno currently with students from all over high schools, probably 15 different high schools from Fowler to Fresno to Sanger. And we meet every month currently. We've been doing this for 2 years. We meet every month. We talk about what we're doing in the schools, in our communities, as far as like leadership and civic projects. We talk about the challenges, they kind of relate to each other on the different challenges and how they overcome the challenges. We talk about different statewide opportunities. We have what's called the Civic Learning Conference, and we do it in Sacramento. And it's a chance for students to go to Sacramento and meet assemblymen and senators with things that they're interested to see change either in their schools or in their community, based around education. We choose 5 of those students to serve on a student panel where they get to express those concerns. And then afterwards, we actually even go to the offices of assembly members and we talk about things that we want to see changed in the schools. So there's a lot of local, but there's also a lot of statewide opportunities for civic engagement and leadership. And so this is just a place, we figured let's give a chance, because every time we do these, every time we go to Sacramento, every time we go to Los Angeles and we talk to the youth in those areas, they always say, we would like to continue this. We want to stay in touch with all these people that we've been meeting in these great opportunities. And we just don't. We don't have a place where we have a collective where we can run ideas off of each other and talk about the opportunities statewide. And who knows, maybe this could go like countrywide eventually. But we thought we would just start with what we have right now. And right now we're working within the state of California. Does that make
That's
sense?
awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Thank you for filling me in.
Yeah, it's a lot. And honestly, that's why I'm kind of happy that it's a small group, but that we're starting today, because too many ideas can get a little crazy. And I really want to hear from you and Haley. Haley's really involved in the Fresno Youth Council. She's been in the Youth Council for 2 years now. She speaks on behalf of the youth council. She's not the president, although she should be. Um, yeah, and so she could really tell you a lot about the youth council and what we've done. I don't know, Haley, if you want to chime in on that at
Oh
all.
yeah, I don't mind. So at the start of the year, we started with a was like youth trip to Sanger. I
Oh,
forgot what.
wonder the summit you're talking about.
Yes, the summit. Yes, the summit. And then at the summit, we have like many students coming from like all over Fresno County, and then we teach them about like what is civic dialogue, civic engagement, and how to get the state seal. And it's also really productive since we have like we talk about topics, and then we do like a little like showcase for others to see. And then after that, we also have the Scout Island trip, and it's also like another social event, but it's also where you build like your team building skills and like learn more about civic engagement and dialogue and the issues in our community. And then we also have regular meetings. It's every month. It was on a Thursday, but it's on a Monday now, right, Tammy?
Whatever you guys want to make it this year.
Yes.
You got to
We
reset.
just been
Start over.
we just been voting on it, but we just have tons of like advanced trips, and then it solely focuses around civic involvement though. But it's just a great opportunity to be involved in.
So they do a lot of they're trying the plan is to try to do a lot of different things in the community to make the community a better place.
Yes.
But if Christiana, if you would like to educate us on mock trials, that is something that would be amazing to bring to Fresno.
Yeah, I would love that, especially since I've done a lot of research on like specifically mock trial in like the Fresno area, and there's a few schools that have programs, but I feel like there's some schools that are pretty underserved in that realm who have students who want to go into the legal field, but they just don't have the opportunity to practice those skills and see what mock trial even is. So that'd be a really cool project.
Yeah, and we just had a law day where we met with different lawyers in Fresno from the Fresno County Bar Association. We went to their like award ceremony and we spoke on civic engagement and the students were invited to come. A few of them came and met with the local lawyers. So there's a lot of if are you going to be going to school here in Clovis or are you going to go back down to LA?
No, I've always been homeschooled since I was in kindergarten. I actually homeschooled through a charter school, and that's located in LA. So technically, I am a resident both in Los Angeles and California and Clovis. My apologies, because of both of my parents.
Yeah, so if you were to go for the State Seal of Civic Engagement, which is a seal that goes on your transcript and or diploma for doing a community engagement project, you would have to determine which school, like which school are you getting your diploma from, determines how you would apply for that seal because it goes through your school district. Are you familiar with the State Seal of Civic Engagement?
I'm not. Could you go ahead and tell me about that?
Absolutely. And since you're a senior, you should know about it. So you can apply for it either in your junior or senior year, but obviously you don't get it until you graduate. But
Mhm.
have you ever heard like of an Eagle Scout project?
Yes.
Okay, it's very similar to that. So you identify a community need, um, whether it be like homelessness, mental health, um, climate change, wildlife, drug addiction, it's something, find a community need that you're passionate about. You'll do research on that community need from different perspectives, at least two different perspectives. Then you will find a community partner that is already working on that particular community need, and you could either partner with them, you can get information from them. It's just you're explaining to the partner that this is something that you're interested in and you're doing a civic project on, and how you use them is up to you, but you need to partner with them. And then you would actually figure out, how do I do a civic project which is within my sphere of influence? Like, you're not going to like change homelessness, like you're not going to fix homelessness, but how can you influence for good in your general area, whatever target audience you choose and whatever region you choose? How are you going to influence it in a good way? How are you going to impact it in a good way? And that's what you would design your civic project around. Then you would represent it later on. You once you're you know, well underway with your civic project, and do a little reflection. Once you do all that, and kids have done it within a school year, you would apply for the state seal of civic engagement through your school. Your school would then send it off to the Department of Education, and the California State Department of Education would send your seal that would go on your transcript or diploma.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, so the seal help is kind of like the seal of biliteracy. It helps you get in college, and it helps you get
Mhm.
jobs, and it's very helpful on your resume, to help you with the things you want to do after school. So that's kind of how we all started, is by trying to do that. And then students from all over have been like really interested in getting involved in that, but sometimes they come up against challenges, or they need resources. And so that's why we thought, well, let's just do a statewide collective where you guys can all meet and talk about these things. Do you have any other questions on that?
I don't. You explained it really well.
Awesome. All right. So if you guys are down, I'd like to take you just through this little Nearpod experience, because I really want to get your feedback on if it works for
Okay.
future meetings. Does that sound cool?
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Because if it doesn't work, then we're going to find something better. All right. So are you guys at a,
Wait, are we supposed to do the Nearpod too, or is it just the other leaders from other states? It's MJ, by the way.
hey, MJ, sweet.
Hi.
Okay, well, I noticed you're on an iPhone, so it might be a little difficult to do the Nearpod. If you just want to stick with us,
Mhm.
and then I will try to show it on my screen. I will share it so you could see it on the screen. You just
Okay.
want to be able to interact as much. Like, Haley, are you on a computer or a phone?
I think she's on her
Oh,
phone.
sorry, I'm on my computer.
Oh.
You're sweet. Okay, Christiana, are you on a computer or phone?
I'm on a computer.
Okay, cool. It's going to really work well when you're on a computer. I might need to figure out how to do this on a phone then. Okay, so go to nearpod.com. And it might ask you to set up an account. You only have to do it once. I'm going to share my screen so you can see what we're talking about.
You can just join the lesson too, though. You don't need to create an account.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Oh, there's the code I was about to ask.
MJ, can you see the code?
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, I joined.
All right. Haley, did you join?
Yes, I'm making an account right now.
Okay. Move this out of the way. So I'm going to put the code in the chat. So if you're, whoop. All right, Christiana, I see you in there. I'll just wait for Haley. By the way, I'm really excited about Friday.
Oh, is that tomorrow?
Yeah, that's tomorrow. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you going to, MJ?
Yes, I actually don't have work tomorrow, so it's perfect.
Sweet. So just so you, Danny, just so you and Christiana know, we are researching because we're thinking the Fresno Youth Council is trying to decide what kind of civic project they want to do this year. And it sounds like it's in between homelessness and coexisting with wildlife. And so they are going to go to the Fresno Wildlife Rehabilitation Center tomorrow, and they're going to meet with the owner. And they're going to get a tour of the facility. They're going to meet some of the animals. They're going to find out why Kathy opened the nature center and what her thoughts are on when it comes to humans existing with wildlife and what some of the problems are and what maybe she thinks could be some of the solutions. So they're meeting with her on Friday. So I don't know if Danny, if you want to come with us, it'll be at two o'clock.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, just give me the details. If they are thinking of homelessness, I do
Wait,
know that this.
I have a question though. For the homelessness, was it anyone else who wanted to do it, or was it just me who put up that idea?
MJ, it's cool if you just put up that idea because remember when we get to the summit, there might be other students that totally want to jump on board with that idea.
Okay, yeah, because that's what I was wondering. Because remember, I told you about the nonprofit organization. If no one else wanted to do it, I was just gonna do my own solo project.
Okay. Well, as long as you're open to other people,
Yeah, I am. 100%. It would
and
be so
then
grateful if I had help with it, but I was just wondering if I was the only one who was giving the idea or if anyone else was. Because if I have the option for a group project, I'm 100% going to do a group project over solo.
cool. And that's kind of what this online statewide network is for. I mean,
Hmm.
Christina might know some people in LA who are doing, I mean, LA has a huge problem with homelessness.
Yeah.
You know, she or somebody else who's on the statewide online collectives, they might have some ideas for you. They might know who you could reach out to. They might have done a project and um, overcame some challenges. So don't give up.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hey, NJ, I do know that the city and both the city and the county here in Fresno had met yesterday, and they were discussing some things about homelessness. I don't know what had turned out from it, but I do know that they had a intergovernment meeting about that. So as you look at your research and stuff, what the government governances are doing, that would be a resource as well.
Okay, I'll definitely reach into that. And then Tammy also told me to reach out. So I did check if there was any nonprofit organizations here in Fresno that have to do with homelessness, and there's none. It's just the Poverello House that's a nonprofit organization, but they don't really take much they don't really take much donations as a nonprofit organization does. They kind of just take like clothing stuff, but money wise, they don't. I do know that because I've been working with Poverello House since I was like a little girl. So, but there's like no nonprofit organizations that have to do with homelessness. It's more like of the Majory Mason and stuff. But yeah,
The
I did check that.
Is it a rescue mission?
Fresno Rescue Mission. I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
they have a component of in one of their services.
oh, okay, okay. I didn't know that. I thought that was more of like how it has to do with Majory Mason and stuff. Marjorie Mason?
Yeah, that's domestic violence.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But Fresno Rescue Mission does like thrift as well as homelessness, and they have other services as well that they do or
Mhm.
are involved in.
All
Matter of
right.
fact, there was some. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say,
There was
let's just move through this because some of the questions on this will actually ask stuff like that.
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry.
No, no problem. Go feel free to talk. I mean, this is your collective, not mine. I want to respect your time and get off by 7:30-ish. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, I don't want to keep you on too late because I know how we love to talk and we sometimes go late and I want to respect that. Okay. All right, so welcome. I wanted to start with some introductions and Danny and MJ, Christiana and Haley and I already did our introductions, but we could do it again. I just want to know if you can tell everybody your name, where you're from, and like maybe summer fun. Like, what have you done so far, or what are you wanting to do? One or the other.
Sure.
So, MJ or Danny?
Danny, you can go first.
Oh, thank you. Let's see. See what I did. A couple weekends ago, I went to Bass Lake, the dam portion. Attempted to fish, but there's no fish there. So I would say that was fun, just to kind of get out of the valley, just get up in the mountains and the lake area, and there was a lot of boats and people there. So I had to be very careful on how I drive. Um, so, so yeah, I would say that was fun. That was a highlight, just to kind of get out of the area and just get up in the mountains. So that's me. Sorry, I'm driving.
It's fine. My name's MJ. I'm obviously from Fresno. And then summer
school.
fun.
Tell everyone your school.
Oh, I go to Sanger West. Summer fun. I'm working at Wild Waters right now, so I'm a lifeguard. That's really fun, and that's pretty much how I'm spending my summer.
Ooh, you're right across the street from me then.
Yep.
Nice. I worked there for a summer. It was fun. All right. So, what I'd like to do, and this isn't about me, this is about you. What I thought would be cool is if we always started our meetings with some civil dialogue. Like responding maybe to what's going on in the world. Man, Christiana, LA, is having some difficult time right now.
Right.
I don't know if you're experiencing any of that, but I hold tight because I think the next question is going to reflect that. But before we get into civil dialogues, I'm always going to reiterate the rules. So I know you guys will be fine, but there might be somebody who jumps on our meetings that might not respect the rules. So I'm always wanting to make sure everyone knows that we're here to find common ground. We're not going to discover what separates us. We're going to try to figure out what we have in common. So to do that, we're going to have to listen to understand. We're not listening to respond, to jump in. We want to let each of us to fully express ourselves before the other person jumps in. Okay. If they do go on and on and on, I will be the timekeeper, or Danny will be if I'm not here, just to kind of like explain to them, hey, we need to move on in respect of time, but we're not going to jump in on and try to cut them off. So you're going to speak from your own experience. You're going to share what you feel, not what others should do, just how you feel. Assume positive intent. We're all here and we all want to do good. So just assume that everybody's here to want to do the same. People aren't going to come on. Danny and I will be the gatekeepers. If someone tries to come on and, just wreck this or try to, what's that? Yeah. So we'll make sure it doesn't happen. So we're here to grow. We're not here to be perfect. Sometimes people might say things that are hurtful. I know that they probably they're not trying to hurt you, but sometimes when we don't agree, it sometimes hurts. So it's okay to speak up respectfully. And in that idea of disagreeing, we disagree with ideas. We don't really disagree with the person. We're disagreeing with what their point of view. So we're going to focus on the idea and not attack the individual. And then everything we talk about stays here. We honor vulnerability and protect each other's trust. So we want to make sure that everyone knows that this is confidential and we care about that. So if you agree with these, can you give me a thumbs up?
I give you a thumbs up, but I can't get off because I'm on the Nearpod right now.
Okay. Thumbs up, Haley? All right. Okay, I'm gonna move on. So here's the question. With recent events like the shutdown of LGBTQ youth mental health, and youth-led protests that are happening in Los Angeles. How are you feeling about the world right now and in your community? So because this is a Nearpod, you can write in here. There's like down at the bottom, you will see that you could write, you can draw, and you can even like add an image by just tapping in an idea like ice cream. And you hit this little thing over here and all these ice creams will pop up. So I just want to invite you to go ahead and type in, how are you feeling right now about the world or your community and your role in it? You don't have to go into like a huge paragraph. You could just type one or two things. This is your space. And then if you can't get in the Nearpod, but you can get in the chat, feel free to write it in the Zoom chat. If I can find it. Where does that go? Danny, can you see the Zoom chat?
I'm looking at it right now. I don't see anybody
Okay.
commenting. So,
All right.
and I actually could see the Nearpod on my phone. So,
Yay. All right. So I can see MJ's writing in. Haley's writing in.
Christiana had put a sad or crying face.
Why? Oh, because that's how she's feeling. Oh, man. All right. I'm going to give it 1 to 2 minutes.
Huh?
They're very nice.
I'll take this one.
Where you want to go choose?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Does anybody want to share?
Hold on, I have to go on mute.
Say who you are so I can put it on the screen.
I don't mind going first.
Who's that?
So, Haley.
Okay.
Yes. So what I put on mine was that like I see as like not accepting others in a community. I feel like this is hurtful and isolating too many.
Yeah. I could totally see that. Do you feel hurtful or hurt and isolated because of some of the things that are happening?
Um, I would say like many of the LGBTQ community would feel that way, but I also find I feel like us like as a community like we could do better and then like there's room for improvement for accepting others.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Okay, anybody else? MJ, is it okay if I share what you wrote?
Sure. I can't really talk because my phone's about to die, so it like drains my battery more. So
Okay, I'm going to share for you then. She says, I'm not too sure how I stand on this situation yet or what I could even do about it. The best thing we could do is team together, is educate everyone on the topic and come together and not against each other. Yeah.
Hmm.
Christiana, why'd you put a sad face? Do you want to share?
Yeah, so I shared in the chat, but everything is just super hectic right now from um I've seen a lot of protests just about immigration because there's a large Latino community where I live, and then new legislation being passed to put a restraint against like charter schools and kind of homeschooling.
Hmm.
And everyone has different views on everything. But from what I'm seeing just on like social media and even in my own life, is it's making it even worse is that people can't communicate their views respectfully. It's always like, no, you're wrong. And that's making the situation drastically worse because everyone's kind of getting in each other's face.
Yeah. It's really important for students to, and just people, even our leaders, to learn those civil dialogue rules, right? Like, if people could understand and be able to find common ground between all their different opinions, can you imagine how much better it would be? Danny, do you have any thoughts?
You know, I'm looking at a lot of the same stuff, a lot of postings, a lot of YouTube comments, you name it. It's very divisive. It's very divisive. Um, at the same time, it's exposing some things, but really, it's a tough road. It's or a hard place in where we're at in our country. Just given the precedence of how things are being executed, how things are just there's well, the thing I was thinking more or less was you're having two extremes really dividing the country, as well as the power plays between the inner district or inner governances with the federal and the state and the locals, you know, obviously vying for supremacy or sovereignty in this case. So there's just so much that is going on right now, and no one's taking the moderate role of civility, saying, okay, let's come to the center, let's agree on something here, versus it's all out war on immigration, or as Christiana says, you know, with charter schools and homeschools and just all the stuff that's going on at the state level. Um, yeah, it's very much sad. Um, as well as you know where are we going to be at in say 5 or 10 years when it comes to just the way of our country, when you have so much division and emotions running high, and where is that going to lead the country, I would say, overall, yet alone in our communities, because there's so much fear and scarcity of things, and just there's a lot of unknowns, I guess, a lot of question marks I would have.
Yeah. So, the agenda for the rest of the night, and going off of what Danny said, I just want to launch the idea of this collective, this statewide youth collective. I mean, I know there's only four of you, three or four of you right now, but there's a lot of other people that wanted to come tonight and wasn't able to make it. But almost every time we have a small skeleton crew in the summer, it usually triples by the fall. I mean, I just say usually, it always triples by the fall. And if you can just see yourselves tonight as the founding people who are going to get this started, I mean, this could really become something. So when I went back to that question, whoops, this one, the last thing I asked was, what do you feel your role in this problem is? But I also want to ask it in light of your role in this problem, but with the hope of being able to do something big within a collective of youth statewide. What do you feel? Do you feel hopeful? How do you feel in regard, you know, for the next, well, I should say just for the future? Does it feel hopeful? Does it feel scary? What are you feeling? Haley?
Sorry, what was the question again?
So we were talking about the division and all the problems that are happening, such as like the protests in Los Angeles and shutdowns and stuff like that. But the last part of the question is, how do you feel what is your role in all of this? But I wanted to say that question with the idea that your role is not just you. You're going to be in, hopefully, continue a youth network. So, in other words, what do you see your role as a youth network Like, what could you do? What are the possibilities of what you could do?
As a youth network, I can see us as like a resource for many others and in providing support. And by doing so, we can like educate others on the problem and like send out like help and what we can offer as CEC, as a youth council.
Awesome. Christiana.
Very apparent where our country is, and I think almost every youth, like we all have our own things we feel very personally about, but the issue is when we're young, we sometimes don't have the platform to speak up about these issues. We don't have the support to back us up. So I think this program is going to be just a great tool to like leverage everyone else's ideas in the youth and kind of just like back them up and say, we're here, we're supporting what matters to you.
Great. Actually, I would like to talk about a platform. But before I do, is MJ still on? I didn't want to miss her.
He had mentioned in the chat that her battery was still dying, and she was going to join once she had gotten
Some
uh
charge?
yeah.
Okay. So in every year, we do what's called a Civic Learning Summit in Sacramento. This next year, it's going to be on February 10th through the 11th. And every year, CEC has organized this conference. This year, I have been told that they would love it if the statewide youth collective was the organizing group. So one of the tasks for this group is to organize that conference. And so what it looked like, let me just show you. I'm going to go a couple of slides. The Civic Learning Conference, just in case, I know Christiana, you probably are like, what is that? It's a place where young leaders from all across California. I mean, as far down as San Diego, we've had youth on the coast, in Sacramento, of course, up in the mountains, of course, and we take the youth from Fresno and bring them up there. It's just youth from all over come together to share unique perspectives. You guys basically learn and how to engage in meaningful dialogue, civil dialogue, and you drive impactful change. And what I mean by that is after the workshop, the second day you start, and Haley, you might be better at explaining this, but basically you all pick like the 4 top pressing issues in education today. Was education or in the community today. And from your groups, your group picks the one person that they want to represent their group, and that one idea that they chose was the pressing issue in their school, in education and in their community today, or it's actually or in their school or their community today. And from all the things that your group talked about and discussed, like why is this a pressing issue? What are some possible things that should be done in regards to this? That person will bring all your notes and start bring it all together to present to the board or to the Department of Education what you feel about that pressing issue and what you think needs to be done about that pressing issue. So it's basically that platform you were talking about, and you'll be talking to the leaders, more of the leaders in the state of Department of Education. So you're going to be talking to educators, but that's not where it ends. Then in the afternoon, you actually take your ideas, and we schedule a whole afternoon of meeting with, is it assemblyman? It's assemblyman, right?
Assembly and the Senate.
Huh?
Assembly, the
It is-
California Assembly and Senate.
it's not the senators, it's assemblyman, right?
Well, I remember from this past year, it was also senators as well.
Also senators. Okay. So you actually, we
Not that I've gotten
schedule,
lobby there.
And you and two others in actually your whole group goes, you and your group go and you sit down and you meet with senators and assemblymen and you discuss what you feel in regards to your issue. It's pretty powerful. It's a really neat 2 days. It's go, go, go. We pay for your room and all your food, and it is in the state capitol. So here's a little video of last year. I'm going to play it for you. Oh, you know what? Can you hear that? Let me, I think I have to go back to Zoom.
Well, add it on.
I think I have to stop sharing. Hold on. I think I have to share again and add audio. Share sound. There it is. Okay. And tell me if you don't hear it. I haven't played it yet, but tell me if you see it playing and it doesn't have sound, let me know.
Hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun.
But what causes or like what effects it your actions will have.
Yeah.
And like thinking that like if you do something like with the match story, will it make the situation better or will it just make it worse?
Us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. You and I, we got it. We don't need no more.
Here, our mission at Civic Education Center is to equip our youth with the tools to be able to critically analyze our civic values and then come up with an equitable response for that. I feel today in our society, as Dr. Meekler mentioned, there's so many opportunities for us as adults to try and hijack the passion of our students, and we do not give them the opportunity to become have their own sense of agency or to become really truly informed about the issues they're facing. Our issues are complicated. It's a democracy. It's a mess, right? And so that means we really have to take the time to understand multiple perspectives and work hard to look for the truth and find truth through facts, figures, and numbers. And then let's work together for a common ground solution. I'm proud of you guys, how you worked yesterday. I saw how you overcome some of your anxiety of not knowing each other, but you work together, pull together as a team. I think you are teaching us what it is like to collaborate and work together. And thank you for this forum to allow that to happen. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and thank you for allowing our students to rock and roll it today, right? Yeah, all right. Thank you guys.
For all of you amazing panelists. And the question is, why does civic engagement matter to you?
It's a way to give back to our communities. I know a lot of us here are very goal oriented, like, oh, we're looking for that scholarship, we're looking for applying to college. And in that way, when we're so busy, caught up in ourselves and our own goals, we almost forget about the communities that brought us to that moment in the first place. And civic engagement is just a really beautiful way to say thank you almost and to give back to the community that brought you there.
Could you guys please explain a bit about which group or which cause you're here to represent and why people should care about it?
So our group identified access to college counseling services as our most important issue.
What we wanted to shed light on and bring more of is to create more programs for first generation students.
You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard time, you and I can weather any storm.
Yay!
Yay!
All right, I couldn't show any any footage inside the assembly member's office. They don't let you take pictures or anything like that, but it would have been really cool to do that and show you guys talking to them and see how they responded. But yeah, so that's the CCL summit in February. And I really would love if you guys took the ball and ran with this. But
Wait, Tammy,
yeah,
sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but do you know what date it is on February? That way I can
yes.
already have it.
February 10th. Here's actually a flyer.
Okay.
It's on our website. It's right here under events, California Civic Learning Summit. It is February 10th and 11th. So it's already scheduled.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. That's perfect.
It looks like the flyer is last year's flyer, so don't go by that.
Okay.
You guys,
Stay tuned.
huh?
I said, stay tuned.
Yeah. And we need to hear from you. We need to hear like what's important to you. What do you want to see at this conference? Last year, as you could see, we had workshops, leadership training, where we talked about the State Seal of Civic Engagement because you all wanted it. So we wanted to make sure you all were on track. We talked about American civic values and common ground and how to have civil dialogue. And then we had that student panel discussion on how to engage young people in like advocacy efforts. And then we visited the legislative offices. So those are some things I wanted to share what we did last year because my question on Nearpod and or the chat is off the top of your head. Now, I don't expect you to like totally plan out this conference today, but I would like to hear kind of like your first thoughts. Like, what would you like to see at the California Civic Learning Conference? What do you want to get out of it? What kind of experiences do you want to get out of it this time? So if you could just jot those down. Yes, Christiana?
Are we trying to tackle the issues that were being brought up in the last video, like access to scholarships and like resources for first generation, or is this a brand new thing?
Brand new thing.
Okay.
Yeah, half of those people were seniors, so they won't even be there. So it's going to be a whole new group of people. Well, I shouldn't say that because Haley, you were a sophomore last year, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So hopefully you're going to go again this year and help plan it. Yeah. And
Wait,
then
I'd also like to help plan it if I can.
you all will help plan it. That's what we're
Okay.
doing. Yeah. So I know you don't have access to Nearpod, but if you
Oh no, I'm in Nearpod right now.
Oh, you are? Oh, cool.
Yes.
Okay. If you could put in Nearpod like some of their ideas, like what do you want to get out of it? That way I could start compiling some of your thoughts and we can start going deeper into your thoughts either next month or in August.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's good that you guys are getting these out because other people that come on board, well, we're already going to be moving forward. We're not going to wait for everybody to bring in their thoughts. We're going to get it started now, but we definitely want to invite them to be a part of it as well. But like sometimes people, it's hard to like think off like scratch. And sometimes people need to see other people's thoughts to like kind of get a fire going under them, right? So I'm gonna give you about 2 minutes. And if you're done already and you'd like to share, be my guest. You don't have to wait for me.
I'd like to share while everyone's writing.
Awesome. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, it's not letting me see. I'll go on the Zoom. thing.
I shared it too, so it should be on the screen.
I would like to, oh, my autocorrect changed to Luther. I would like to see some small showcases, kind of how we do our showcase towards the end of the year, but
Ooh.
just like small showcases of like major cities. Um, and like what those students are doing there for their civic engagement project and how involved they are and what change they wanted to bring. I think that would be beneficial because obviously for our showcase, it's just people that are located near us. But like seeing showcases of like different people, I feel like that'd be so interesting to see like how much people really do want to change around their like city. Also, maybe some discussion tables like how we had for Law Day where I know he said that he wanted to do like discussion tables where everyone was talking about like serious topics or something, but maybe doing like little discussion tables where members can discuss their ideas and their civic projects of what they want to do, and we could give ideas to one another or advice on how they could go from their idea or something.
You know, that would be so amazing because MJ, we went back to Sacramento in June after we had this in February to find out what their civic projects were, and they were so like just barely scratching the surface. Like one of them, for example, they wanted to tackle environmental issues, but all they did was like a river cleanup. And another one, I think they wanted to tackle homelessness, but all they did was go to a homeless shelter and volunteer. They didn't really do a project. Most of them just did like volunteer. They didn't know the difference between a volunteer project and a civic engagement project. So I think that would be a great idea.
Yeah, so I don't know how it goes because obviously this is like my first official year starting with you guys from the beginning because last time I kind of joined in like a mid.
Yeah.
Um, but do you guys do like at the beginning like how me, Haley, and Daniel, how we did it, where we explained what Civic is at towards the end of the showcase? Do you guys do an introduction like that?
Yes, we do the youth summit in October. We're going to do a youth summit in October.
Oh, okay, I see, I see.
Yeah. So, and that's usually where a lot of people jump on into this. We go from like 5 to 10 people to start the youth council. And by October, we have like 20, 25. It's kind of funny.
That is funny.
Demian was like the president or something like that. And then after the youth council, he's like, whoa, where'd all these people come from? It was kind of funny. Okay, Christiana.
I'm gonna ask a lot of questions in this period because I just saw that like 3-minute video and I'm kind of just going from there.
Yeah.
Every year, do you guys ever have like students from previous years come back and like give a short presentation on the project that they chose and how they carried out the plan?
No, I think that would be a great idea. I
Yeah, I
think
think that could just serve as like inspiration.
a lot of the students that actually complete a really good civic project are usually seniors. We don't usually get a lot of sophomores or juniors because they're like, well, why do I need to do a big civic projects when it doesn't really count until I graduate anyways? And
Well, sorry to interrupt you, but you can have me and Haley do it because obviously Haley wasn't, well, she was, but she wasn't like so, like she didn't do our presentation with us. But me and Haley could do like a presentation on how we went with our project of like mental health awareness. If not, if Haley doesn't want to do it, I can just do it. But and then I can talk about like what we did, how I wish we could have gone better. So then that way, like people might know, like, oh, like she should have done this and blah blah blah. And like I said, how our discussion thing. But that's a really good idea. I really like that idea. And like people from other cities too, if there is some sophomores, like sharing their ideas, that would be really good. I like that.
yeah,
We might even get, oh, continue.
oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, MJ, the mental health project did have, I mean, it was a great idea. You guys did such a good project with the time you had, but remember they didn't start till like way later in the game. I mean, they just kept putting it off and putting it off and kind of putting it off. And it didn't get totally completed in the way they wanted it to get completed at the beginning. So that would be
Yeah,
a
so
really
that's
good example of like their challenges and how they were able to overcome them that year. That's I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Christiana said, that's a really great idea. And just like showing, like, I can say, like, oh, like, I know Daniel wanted to do it better and we kind of put it off. And then I could even say, do not put it off. It's really important to, like, put it on, like, if you're already thinking about doing it, just do it and don't put it off. Like, just having a discussion like that and making people feel comfortable and, like, sharing their space and, like, sharing their ideas too and what they think could have done better. That's a really good idea, Christiana. We would have never thought of that if you wouldn't have said it.
I think
I think it's
you and Haley can
important.
talk about it at the summit right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like if you guys
Oh,
have
yeah.
other youth from other cities who maybe can't come, maybe we can get like videos of them explaining their projects and like show it on a TV or something.
Ooh, or like a FaceTime.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. All right.
Was there any other ideas that she had?
I had a few, but Haley, if you want to go ahead first, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't mind going.
Yeah, go ahead.
So for my ideas is that I would like to see like workshops on civic education and real life problems so we can like dive deeper into the topic. And then we already had this last year, but I like how we did like issues and doing our posters and then as a group we like split up into like six, five people groups and then we just like dive even deeper in how we can solve it and like the like issues with that topic. And then another idea is that we can invite like speakers who are involved in civic learning, which is like they can help open the eyes of many youth and that can help build the youth's platform
Oh,
for
we could,
projects.
yeah, for that we could even, what was his name? Rob Golden? Is that his name?
I
Yes.
think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can cut, he would probably be wanting to do it because I know he said in his speech that he really liked helping out the youth. I'm sure he would want to be a speaker. And then we could even have like the civic partners from, because our project should already be close to done towards that month, right? February?
Yes.
Yeah, because we're already on top of it now. So hopefully, I don't want to jinx it, but hopefully it'll be like good and done towards that. So then maybe we could have like some civic partners who'd be willing to talk about that and how like the youth that they grouped up with and that they partnered with, like how they thought it was just like so amazing that they were involved and like just like showing like to people that there is people that would be willing to help out. Like it's just important to reach out, like not just have other people reach out to you.
Yeah. Cool. Christiana, I did have a question. Like, do you have any ideas of, because we're talking mostly on civic projects, and I know the mock trial and advocacy or advocating for something is a little different than just doing a civic project and working in your community to make it better. Do you think that any of those other I don't want to say topics, but other ideas, do you see them um like do you think they'd be beneficial to implement any of that into the CCL's conference?
I don't really understand your point. May you please explain it a
Yeah,
bit
I was
differently?
kind of all over. So, you are mostly familiar with mock trials and
Yes.
and being involved in that. And part of a mock trial is advocating for something, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that is a little different than doing a civic project. Even though you're advocating for something better in your community, the ultimate goal is to do a civic project around that. Okay, that's one thing. But also, there's a lot of things that we could talk about at the CCL summit that aren't just civic project oriented. We could talk about civil dialogue, how to advocate appropriately. What's the importance of a mock trial? I mean, so my question to you is, other than civic projects, do you see that there are other things that we can include at the CCL summit.
Thank you for clarifying. Like once you re-explained it, I was like, oh, I 100% get what you mean. So yeah, I totally see other opportunities other than just civic conversation. From what I saw in the video, I think we could potentially bring in a public speaking expert to host a workshop and share some tips on public speaking. From what I saw in the video, a lot of people were feeling very comfortable sharing their ideas on the stage. And oftentimes, when people don't feel comfortable, it's the extroverts who take over, even though sometimes the smallest voices who don't feel comfortable have the best ideas. So, if we can kind of just even the playing field by sharing some tips on how to speak or how to speak in public in front of people to kind of calm the nerves of these different kids, I think that could be a really great workshop to start the weekend with.
Ooh, I like that.
That kind of when I was looking at that on your chat and also just thinking about it, that would be very much coincide with going to city councils or board of commission or commissioners or board of supervisors. Just really having the tools and know-how, resources to be able to project and all those things that would just lend to the expertise of this is why we're advocating for this community issue or topic. It is, yeah. So
Exactly. It's like we all have these amazing voices, but if we don't know how to use them, what good are they?
I like it.
I'm writing that down.
I think, yeah, public speaking is still one of the number one fears that people still have. So that hasn't changed in a while.
Is that, you know what? That is an amazing quote. If we don't know how to use our amazing voice, what good are they?
Mm.
Can I say that's from you, Christiana?
Yeah, sure. Copyright Christiana Garcia.
There you
Also going to that, I know everyone hates icebreakers, but I feel like it would be a really good idea to do an icebreaker. Like we could split into groups like Haley said, where I don't did you say that you guys did like presentations last year, Haley?
Yes, on topics in the
Yeah, so like
community, yes.
doing like something like that, like we would be like, okay, so we could assign groups, like you know, the people who are like leaders or people who have been doing civic engagement for like at least more than 1 year, like they could be in charge of the group and they would like have an icebreaker. And like Haley said, like they would do like a presentation based off like a project or something, like just doing that so like everyone like feels more comfortable with someone, and like, you know, like how Christiana said, like just feeling more comfortable with speaking out and like being in a safe space. I feel like that would be a really good idea, like just a group that you can be a part of. And that way you like know people.
Okay, MJ,
That makes sense?
I'm gonna have you come up with an icebreaker for the summit.
Okay, I will.
Sounds good.
All right. Okay, do you girls and Danny, do you guys care if I move on? Christiana.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one more idea.
Cool.
I don't know if this is like already implemented, but it would be really nice if, like, I keep hearing about splitting into small groups. If we could potentially get like college age kids who are like civically engaged to kind of like help mentor our groups throughout the weekend, I feel like that could be a good way to like all kind of bond while still keeping our summit organized.
What about the alumni? College age alumni coming back to share. I mean, we have students that have graduated a few years from now. Would that work?
Doesn't sound like a bad idea.
I know.
There's one girl, I don't remember her name, but she was there at Law Day. You said that she had been there for like a while and like
Oh, Neftali.
Yes, she's a really good speaker. I really like the ideas that you spoke about. She'd probably be a really good alumni to go back and explain what she's doing now after she's been out of civic engagement and how she's still involved in it.
Is that one of our board members, Tammy?
Yeah,
Oh
Neftali.
yeah.
Was a civic. She was working with John doing civic projects probably 5 years ago.
Right, right. Yeah, I'm just trying to think if she might be available. I'm not too sure. I know she was in between Chicago and DC or something. I think last we talked.
Yeah. Okay. Before I move on, anybody have any other ideas? All right, I'm gonna move on. Let me get back to student here. So I just also in the idea of this whole collective, like what do you think, we've talked a little bit about the conference, we talked a little bit about our thoughts, and I've shared kind of what I think that the collective might look like. But I kind of want to hear from you. What do you think is, or what would you like to see is some of the goals of this youth collective?
Wait, what's the youth collective? I'm sorry.
That's so, yeah, I'm just calling it the statewide youth collective. So I know you're on a Fresno Youth Council, but this particular Zoom call is a chance for youth all the way down in Los Angeles and all the way up to Sacramento to join. So it's not just going to be Fresno on the statewide youth collective. I'm just calling it that. You guys actually could even change the name. I don't care. But the idea is every month CEC is offering an opportunity for youth all the way from Sacramento to all the way down to San Diego to come online with you with all of you and talk about civic engagement projects, talk about advocacy, talk about issues that are happening in your communities and trying to figure out ways to influence them for the good. Because CEC has been doing these trainings in Los Angeles and in Sacramento every year, and every year we hear the same thing. I wish we can continue to talk with each other. I wish we can figure out a way to connect with each other. And so we're answering the call. We're offering this online youth network to be so that you guys have a chance to do that. You guys have a chance to plan the statewide conference. You guys have a chance to plan statewide opportunities. You have a chance to do statewide resources. So that's kind of what it is.
Sorry. I know, so that I really like the Nearpod idea that you had. I really liked using the Nearpod because we all kind of got to give, I don't know, I just really like the Nearpod. So the Nearpod's a really good idea. Also, there option as when you start like a Zoom or something. I used to do it all the time during COVID. Like the Zoom teachers that the teachers would have. There's an option where you could do like breakaway rooms. So each civic, like people who are in the board members, hopefully they can all come on that meeting that day. And we would do like breakaway rooms. So Tammy, if you're in charge of the Zoom, like you would send everyone to a breakaway room and then a civic like board member will be there and like they could introduce themselves, like give their contact information, like you said, because some kids wanted to have everyone's contact information. And it could be like, so not everyone from Fresno would have like be in the same group. So there would be like two Fresno kids and like two kids from San Diego and like two kids from where else did you say?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. So like there's like, everyone gets to meet people from different cities and there could be a board member from each one of those cities as well who's like, speaking out to everyone so then everyone has connections to people who aren't just from Fresno or people who aren't just from LA or I forgot the other one, but you guys get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be just those cities. I mean, it would be kind of cool if it was all over the place,
If it was all over the place, that'd be like friggin' awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so do I have it right? Speakers or civic members in breakout rooms?
Yeah, and then when the time comes, we could like clear it up in case we forget or something, but.
All right. All right. Anybody else writing anything in their Nearpod about what kind of goals they'd like to see in this collective? Yes, Christiana. Oh, did
I think since it's like a once a month type of meeting, every month we can kind of have a student spotlight. And like, let's say we designate 10 minutes to have one student share, whether it's like they want to make a video dedicated to the progress of their project, or they want to like give a speech on how they're working out some challenges in their project. And it kind of just highlights showing like a superstar who is keeping up with their project to kind of inspire the rest of the group.
So do you mean like a student of the like the month or like civic student of the month or something? We can do that. Is that what you mean? Or like
We
just
can,
like
I'll continue.
oh wait, no, I was gonna what were you gonna say?
We could call it like Civic Student of the Month. I'm more so thinking like it's a framework just to kind of highlight a student who's doing really well, but their title wouldn't really come with any responsibilities. It would just be like speaking at the meeting for like 10 minutes or
Oh yeah,
5
that's
minutes,
what I
sorry.
meant too. Just like giving them the title of Civic Student of the Month. I feel like it might push people to like maybe work harder or like be more active and stuff because they're like, oh, like I'll have this title for like an hour or something, you know?
Yeah, kind of give them a prize.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, my hope is that you all are running this meeting and not me or Danny. We just come in and kind of watch and help out and support. But eventually, one of you are actually going to be running this meeting, hopefully by the end of the school year. And what cool thing to have on your resume that you actually ran you and honestly, right now we are calling you ambassadors. So Haley, you're the ambassador for Fowler,
Holler.
for the city
Got
of
it.
Fowler. MJ, you're going to be the ambassador for Sanger. And Christiana, I don't know, LA, Clovis. That's kind of why I was asking you. Like, I guess you could pick.
Wherever you want to land.
But if you're going to put anything on a resume or in a, if you're going to apply for a summer job or something, you can put that you're a ambassador for the California Youth Collective, because that's what you are. Okay, Haley's writing in some good stuff. I wrote down your highlight student spotlight. I did start writing down the other ones, but it somehow came off. But the good thing is this is being recorded, so I can go back and look at it. All right, Christiana?
Along with the student spotlight, I think these monthly meetings really serve as just like an opportunity to motivate every student because we're going to be doing different service projects. And to motivate us, I don't know, maybe I'm just like really into like inspirational speakers, but I think if we can bring in like students who have powerful stories to share with the group, just to like recaptivate us and to remember that we're doing it for a bigger purpose and that we have all these great leaders that we can kind of like look up to as role models to continue our projects.
Do you have a speaker in mind that I can reach out to for the next month?
I actually do. I have I would call her like an acquaintance. I know her from mock trial. Her name is Kayla Waddington. She's going into her sophomore year at Yale University, full ride from Pennsylvania, and she's really civically engaged. Um, just a few weeks ago, she actually went to Washington, D.C. to have a peaceful protest against some legislation that was being passed against like college students. And
Oh, wow.
she does a lot of like gun advocacy too. And she's just like an amazing person I personally look up to. And I think she'd be interested in coming and speaking to our group.
Will you reach out to her and ask her?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. And then
Yeah, I
if
think
if you'd like me to send you any information, or if you just want to pass her information to me and I can send it, however you want to do it. The more you do, the more because you guys are running the show, would be good, but just let me know how I can support you.
Yeah, we can probably email after sometime about the specific details so I can give her that information.
Awesome. I know you're still typing, Haley, but do you want to share any of the stuff that you've been adding to this youth
Yeah.
clothes?
So what I put down so far is like we can do like as a goal we could do staying strong as a network, so staying consistent. And then what we can also do is like we can have reports from like down to LA to Sacramento and then like civic projects they've done and like its results. And we can also start a social media platform so we can spread the word like even like not from California but like all over the states. And then what I think would also be like a very good like educating idea is like a mentorship program with middle schoolers. And it doesn't have to just be in Fresno since it's like a statewide thing. It could be from like LA to Sacramento. And so when the middle schoolers like enter high school, they have like like knowledge about civic education and how to start on the projects and how they can help.
For an idea with the number 4 that you said, the mentorship program, we could
Yeah.
even email like, Haley, you go to Fowler, right?
Yes, I do.
So you can ask your ASB if they know about like the dates of like the freshman orientation
Oh
or like
yeah.
back to school nights, and we could set up booths for each school because most of the time back to school nights aren't collectively on the same day for each school. But we can ask if we can have a booth for our civic engagement project so that way upcoming freshmen, so we can have students from all 4 years of their high school being involved
Yeah.
in civic engagement and doing like a mentorship program like you said. That's a really good idea.
I like what you said, yeah. That sounds like a great idea.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Okay. If anybody else has anything else to say, I'm going to move on. These are all really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all your ideas, I'm going to put them into a document. And I know the two of you do Google Docs. Christiana, do you have access to Google if I did something in like a Google Drive?
Yes, I can draw my email into chat.
Awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to collectively put all of this into a Google Drive document and share it with all of you. On top of that, I'm actually going to pass that up for right now because we are running out of time. For our next meeting, I'm going to ask you to bring a picture of your pet or your favorite food, okay?
Got it.
All right. I'll put this in the reminder email out to you before the meeting is. But you guys need to tell me when is our next meeting. So get your calendars out.
I can do July, like the middle of July, towards the end. I like having our meetings like closer to each other. I don't know if that's just me. Wait, can you guys even hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Oh,
you.
okay. I like having our meetings closer to each other because sometimes like I'll just like wake up and I have an idea and then our meeting's like in a month and I'm like, oh, I can't share it.
But that's what the Slack was for. We need to figure out a way that we can continually talk to each other, you know?
Yes.
A way that we can communicate in between meetings, because I get that. I totally get that. And sometimes some of our good thoughts are like, way before the next meeting, and you're like, dang it, I'm not going to remember this or have the motivation for it, you know?
Uh-huh. We
So
can do wait, sorry, my mom's like cooking. Let me when's our meeting that we have at the park, like our towards the end of our civic party? When is that?
we haven't came up with a new date
Oh.
for that. Yeah.
Okay.
We could talk about that at the
The
next.
day Wait, Christiana, do you live in LA or are you like in Clovis too?
I live in Clovis.
Oh, so then we can all go like do like in-person meeting too at our thing too, our civic party. And then we can all like we can have our meeting there. That might be an idea too. Because I know everyone else is gonna be there as well. So then that way it's kind of like, they're kind of forced to be in the Zoom.
So are you saying that our social is back on?
Wait, I thought it was already back on.
Oh, it's July 19th. That's right. Sorry, I didn't have it on. I don't have it on my computer calendar right now.
So
July 12th. Is it 12th or the 19th?
I thought it was the 27th.
July
Wait,
20th.
no, that's today. Wait, today's not I'm thinking about tomorrow. Hold on. I don't I think it was July 19th. Oh, yes, it says right here. Did everyone agree with July 19th though? I know Asa was the only one that said he couldn't go.
I could go on July 19th.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
July 19th available too.
And was that with alumni as well?
What? Say that again, Danny?
Was that with alumni as well, as far as them
Yeah.
attending?
Yeah, because I still have Daniel's check. I still
Oh,
have your check, MJ. I still haven't given that to you.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't picked it up. But yeah, I think we could, and that way too, Christiana can see how Daniel and they were involved their senior year and like what we did. And we can give her more in depth of how our project was because I don't know if she was that. I don't think she was there at our showcase, huh?
No.
Yeah, so then that way she could see what we do as well too.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna plan for July 19th and we're gonna make it a social.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then that way everyone, but we can advertise it more of as a social than a meeting because people seem to back out when it's a meeting.
Okay. We will make it a social.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if we just put free food on the poster, I'm sure people will go.
Especially Haley's free food. She sounds like a pretty good cook.
Yeah.
I will unfortunately be out of town that day, but please go ahead with the meeting. I would be more than happy to hear about the details at a later date.
Would you still be able to join on a Zoom or is it like an out of town vacation thing?
I'm actually gonna be at a tournament that weekend, so I'm gonna
Oh,
be
I
busy
see.
all week.
Oh, okay. We'll just we always put stuff on Slack, so you can see it on there if you're in the Slack too.
Yeah, great.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is even though you want to do a social, another idea is we can do the Fresno Youth Council 1 month, and then we would do the statewide youth collective the next month. So we could do it like alternating. We could focus on local stuff on 1 month, and then we can invite everybody statewide and start planning the conference on the other month. So like,
Oh, you know what? That is a good idea.
what I mean by
Because
that is this particular youth collective meeting, the next one would be in August.
yeah, and that would be better because people have already picked out their projects too, most likely. Because it's like towards the school starting. And yeah, I actually think that's a better idea.
Okay. So school starts. I don't want to do it the week the school starts, and I'm going to Costa Rica the week before. So we could choose the week of the 18th or the week of the 25th. What do you guys want to do?
That's the week that school starts for me.
18th?
My school starts on the 20th.
20th. Okay, that's that week.
But
So
I am pretty busy the first 2 weeks of the week of the weeks that school start because of sports.
okay, so what about like August 28th?
Oh, that's perfect for me. I don't know if everyone else agrees with that.
Haley?
August 20th works. What time will it be?
We could do it at 6 or 4.
Oh, yeah.
6?
Yeah, I think 6 is better.
Yeah, I like that.
We'll do the 28th. How about you, Christiana? August 28th at 6.
Can I get back to you on that?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Cool. I think that was, I had a couple other fun things, but we're running out of time. So, next month, I think, we'll do dialogue on what makes civic work at school easier or harder. What makes civic work at school easier or harder? What kind of support from teachers or community would help most, and what resources, events, or training should we provide for the year? So those are some questions we'll ask.
Those questions that you have too would be a really good idea for our youth collective to speak out about those, so then people from other cities can also um say what they think about that and stuff too.
Awesome. Yeah,
That way,
that's what I'm hoping for. And
yes.
lastly, so I don't know if you guys know, but next year, 2026, is the 250th anniversary of our democracy. And there are going to be a lot of people wanting to do big events around that. So, I don't know if you want to incorporate this into the CCL Summit or if you want to do something different or something in addition to, but I don't want to get into it tonight, but just letting you know, just putting it in your ear that next year, 250 years, we've been a country. It's kind of cool. So we'll talk about that again. We'll talk about that more at the next meeting. Is there anything you guys want to add before we head out?
Yeah, I actually have a few questions.
Yeah.
So, Tammy, I know you said that you wanted to do the Fresno rehabilitation thing, which I think is a really good sponsor. And you said that she would be willing to speak at our showcase too, right? Because I know that we wanted to do our speaker to come with us as a showcase to explain like what they do as well. But did you still want to do the SPC, what is it called? SPCA thing? To do it as not, because I don't think they would be willing to do a sponsorship as the Fresno rehabilitation thing. But I'm not talking about more of a sponsor. I'm talking more as our volunteering aspect of our project. Can you send out like a little thing to our students for them to volunteer already? Because it's like a monthly thing. I can't really explain I don't really, I don't know how to explain it that good, but like every month people like sign up for it and then they pick like monthly volunteers.
So you want to do a day out at the SPCA as a volunteer event? Is that something, am I right?
Yeah, I don't know if maybe you can email them so we could kind of avoid that process. I'm not sure if we would be able to, but
So I
if
used to
you would
work
be
with
able
them.
to,
I used to work with them with California Conservation Corps. They do have a process that
uh,
I can't get around.
okay.
And I know you have to do an application and stuff like that, but I can reach out to them and see what that exactly is again, and I can help give that information to all the youth.
Yeah, I just signed up not too long ago. I wasn't able to go because of sports, so I wasn't able to go to the meetings that we had. But I know you just submit application online, and it's like basically like you're applying for a job. And then they give you an email back if they want you to volunteer there, which I'm pretty sure most of our group should be able to because we have volunteer experience. And then you just have like a meeting and they explain what it's like. And then if you're under 18, you can't work with the animals, but you would just like help clean and stuff. I did it a while ago. I used to volunteer for SPCA all the time, but that's basically their process.
Okay. I will put it in an email and I can send it out to everybody.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, but on this meeting, I just want to make sure we covered everything. Christiana, are we still gonna connect by email with the more information?
Yes, please.
Okay. If you can send, let's see, you put your email in the chat?
Yes.
All right, let me see if I can get to it.
I have a question about regarding the in-person council. If I wanted to get involved with that, what steps would I take?
There's not much of a but big steps. Like it's not, you don't have to fill out an application or anything like that. We meet every month, but I think what we're going to do now is we're going to meet every other month. We're going to do the council one month, and then we're going to do this youth statewide collective the other month. So once I get your email, I'm going to add you to our youth council list, and you will receive an email every month that we have it with details on the place, the time, and a little information on what we're going to do that night. And then you can just show up. You do get fed. We always have dinner, and we do team building activities or icebreakers, kind of like what MJ was talking about at the beginning of the meeting, so you can get to know everybody. And we kind of talk about the things we talked about tonight, but more on a local level.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Wait, Tammy, so so the meetings that we had last year, well, basically this year still, where we had it every month, we're not gonna have those in-person ones every month anymore?
We're
Because
gonna
I
have them
kind of liked it.
every other month. Do you want to have them every month?
I don't know if Haley agrees with me, but I kind of liked having it every month because then it would be easier for us to work on our project. And since I know we want to take our project more seriously and actually like a little bit work harder on it. Well, we did work really hard, but do you get what I'm saying? How you like not
I
putting it
love
off?
that.
I feel like doing every month is going to like make us put it off.
Okay, let's do it.
I don't know if Haley agrees with me. If not, we can do every other month, but
No,
I feel like every month might be better.
I totally get what you're saying. I think that's a good idea. I like that.
Okay. So let's plan the August meeting at our social.
Okay, that works.
Yeah, that way we can get everybody else's input.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and that way I can focus on promoting the social and get more bodies out there. Okay. Cool. I look forward to seeing you, and as always, look in the Slack. I will be putting stuff in there, and also if you guys are still cool with the texting, the Google text, I'll just keep you in the loop as to what we're doing next. But I'm going to see the two of you tomorrow, so we can talk about all of that tomorrow as well.
Sorry,
Tammy.
I don't. Oh,
Oh, so you can go first.
I was actually, yeah, it was about what was I going to mention? About the homelessness thing. I know I told Tammy about the nonprofit organization, but can you repeat what you told me to do? Because I kind of forgot and I need to put it down on the notes this time so then I can actually do it. And Haley, would you want to do it with me or?
MJ, let me email it to you. That way you have it all in writing.
Okay. But Haley, I was just thinking about doing um I still want to do the animal rehabilitation thing as like our group project overall, but I was thinking about like having a nonprofit organization for homelessness in Fresno because it's really bad and I feel like there's not really much that we have done as a city to help it. So I kind of wanted to start an organization to like help those in need and like just do more than just, giving them giving them more resources and like the ability to bounce back from where they are currently. I didn't want to do it by myself. And I know you're really involved, Haley, so if you want to do it with me, that would be such
Yeah,
a big help. Okay.
I would love to join you. Yeah. Just
Okay, and then
tell me more about it.
yeah, and then I'll text you more information and stuff. Sorry, I interrupted you, Tammy.
Okay. Okay. I'll see you two tomorrow at 2:00. You
2
guys know
o'clock.
where to go?
Yes.
Could I get the address to the place?
101 Temperance.
Okay.
I'll text it to you again. Are you getting your texts?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'll text it to you.
All right, thank you.
And then Christiana, I did get your email, so just so I know, I'm going to email you council information. What else did you need?
The council information will just pertain to what will be happening the next meeting, what date it will fall on, and the time, right?
Yes.
Great.
I might send you the social information too, even though you said you can't go, but it'll all be together just in case.
Okay.
And then I'll send you a little bit probably of the CCL conference just so you can kind of get a little grasp. Oh, and I'm also going to send you the Youth Summit information. That's in October. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure. I think so like I was telling you guys at the beginning of the meeting, I went to the summer leadership program about the Constitution, and that's actually where I connected with Mr. Oliver, and he told me about this great program and decided to join this call, and here I am.
Yay.
Well, actually, Mr. Minkler was the one that kind of speared that on, but yeah, definitely glad you're able to join us.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. You really kind of give a really good how would you say, like a different way of looking at things. Like we're so civic project driven. I love the fact that you're coming from a mock trial and have a little bit more insight to advocacy. And you have those
I always
connections.
like to say,
What's
yeah,
that?
I'll continue.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
It's like somebody can't live a healthy life with just focusing on their legs. Like when you work out, you have to work out every part of your body to really live like a healthy life. And I think that's how we can like create a really great chapter, kind of just focus. Everyone kind of has their own strengths and focusing on what we all bring to the table.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I look forward to seeing you all. We're going to see you at different times. Seeing you all later. Any last thoughts before we log off? All righty. You all have a wonderful night.
You too, Tammy.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye,
Bye.
guys. Hey, Tammy.
Hi. Any thoughts? How'd that go?